Nope. Am I good now?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't turn. That's on me. I didn't turn my mic on. That's my bad. That's a rookie mistake. So let's start over. Hi everybody. My name's Jack, and this is Live at 5 at Island Music Company. We do this every Thursday at 5 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. My microphone is on.
Yes, it is.
It is. Jake is with us on the show now. He's sitting in the bottom left-hand corner. If you have a wide format, for those of you tuning in on Instagram, sorry. It just doesn't, they only give us a certain shape or ratio of screen size that we can use on Instagram. So, sorry, Jake, you just don't.
There you
All right. I see I was out of frame. All right, cool. All right, so let's jump into it. We got 4 guitars today, and these are pretty interesting ones. We have a very cool Rickenbacker. We have the first of our 50th anniversary Taylor acoustics, and I have 2 resonators from Regal, which pack a nice punch considering the price point they're at, and their tone is just unmatched. They give you that real authentic resonator kind of slide sound that you might be looking for. But let's jump into this Taylor first, because it's a cool benchmark opportunity. So from Taylor, this is the 50th anniversary AD14CE. Has a solid spruce top, walnut back and sides, the really cool sunburst finish to it as some of the American Dream models have. Comes with a nice arrow case, but it's a little hard to see just because of how we're set up. But on the inside, there is a label signifying that it is the 50th anniversary. And this is one, I believe, of 5 50th anniversary models we've ordered from Taylor. I'm not going to list off the models because some of them we can't talk about yet, and I don't want to accidentally say the ones we can't talk about yet. That wouldn't be good. But we have 2 more that we are allowed to talk about that are on the way here. One of them was a Builder's 814 CE.
Did you say so?
And the other one was it the 314? I think it's a 314. But I can't talk about the other ones. So be ready for those. They're all really cool. Taylor did a phenomenal job of kind of stepping outside of what we know a Taylor guitar to be, but to also stay within their lines of what we do know a Taylor guitar to be. So they're pretty cool models. I'm excited for their 50th anniversary. At some point this year, Keith and I are both actually going to be going to Taylor and hand selecting some pretty unique wood choices for our very own special Taylor 50th anniversary models that are going to be here at Island Music Company. So we're very excited for that. So this is the AD, which stands for American Dream. If you're not familiar with the Taylor story, the American Dream was the name of the original music store where Taylor Guitars was kind of birthed out of. So the American Dream line of guitars is kind of like paying homage to the American Dream store where Taylor Guitars came from, where Bob Taylor very famously started their handiwork. So yeah, this is the beginning of their 50th anniversary models. We have this in stock now, obviously. Is it listed on the sites?
Yep, I believe I got it up yesterday.
Cool. So it is available online, but it's also something you should definitely come in and play. So it's available here. Come on in and check it out. You will not be disappointed. I don't think there's ever been a Taylor I've picked up and have been like, oh man, this was a bad idea. And I've never felt that with them. So come on in and check that out. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to jump into these Regal guitars next. They're Dobros, resonators, however you want to refer to them. They have a few names. If you talk to the folks in the bluegrass community, they have some kind of like lingo for them that I'm not too familiar with. But anytime they say it, I get so confused. I'm like, oh, that's what you mean. So this one here is, what is this, the R30? Yep, the RD30M. The M stands for its mahogany, so it just has a natural mahogany finish. It comes strong with the Dario strings. It has an aluminum cone and spider bridge. These guitars are really nice because this one I believe lands under $700. It's a phenomenal guitar. They've done a great job crafting these. Anything that we get from the Regal brand has been pretty phenomenal so far. If you're looking for that nice vintage authentic tone from a resonator guitar, Regal is the way to go. They do a phenomenal job. They're excellent on their craftsmanship. The next guitar I'm going to show you though from them is the RD40V. And the V kind of stands for vintage because it has it has the vintage, not like a vintage. It has a vintage sunburst finish to it. A little bit nicer on the appointments on it. You can see it's got the nice inlay work on the headstock. This one here, all the hardware on this one comes nickel plated, so it helps with durability and longevity. You're not going to worry about it wearing out or anything like that. This one has a spruce top, solid spruce top with the mahogany body, and that spruce top combined with the resonating plate helps with that projection, helps with the tone, the volume, the clarity, and it's really just going to give you everything you need, whether you're just going to play it straight up as an acoustic, or if you're going to mess around with some slide and different action like that. That spruce top helps to really push it forward, to help that to sing while you're playing it. This one here, because of that combination and because of the craftsmanship from Regal, this one has a very authentic, like 30s style tone, which is where a lot of these kind of come from. So, you know, pick up a slide, get the town, pull out your favorite Mississippi Delta blues, and go to work on the Regal resonators. This model is the RD40. Got my tag all twisted up here. Here we go. Also comes strung with D'Addario strings. So that was the RD30M, RD40V. The 30, then the 40, kind of your tier of classifications there. And that V signaling that has the vintage sunburst. These are the only two that we have in stock right now. They're both round necks, but if you're into the square neck or you want different options, contact us. We can order anything else from them as well because they have a good selection of variety into that resonator style guitars, and we'd be happy to look for those for you. The next one, last but definitely not least, this is a really cool one. This came in from Rickenbacker the other day, and I immediately was like, you know what? This is going to make the list. This is definitely one we're going to talk about. This here, I had to look down my notes because I always mess the numbers up. This is the 325C64. So, 325C64. It's a lot of numbers. Let's break it down. The C stands for classic because it is it's modeled after a Rickenbacker classic model. The 64 signifies that it was modeled after a guitar from 1964. The 325 is the model number of that original guitar. The Rickenbacker 325 reached notoriety and widespread popularity from none other than John Lennon. When the Beatles first made their invasion, as you want to call it, into America, the whole British invasion, that was the guitar he was known for playing, was his Model 325. That's the one everyone associates with, to a point to where if you see John Lennon playing that 6-string from the 60s as well, it's a 6-string 325, which is kind of a very unique piece. They'd kind of built that to match his 325 that he had. A handful of other artists had gone on and played the 325, but none of them really stood out as much. John Lennon, much like everyone else in the Beatles, kind of put their mark on the industry. So much so that when the Beatles first played the Ed Sullivan Show, they single-handedly kept Zildjian from going out of business because of all the orders that stores were placing for Zildjian cymbals. Zildjian's been bailed out a few times. Once, way back in the day, from a like we're talking like over in Turkey, they were bailed out by a czar, which is like a crazy story. Did you ever hear that one?
No.
Like way back, like you gotta think Zildjian just celebrated, was it 400 years, 500 years, something like that? So think back, I think it's back into like the 1700s, 1800s. Zildjian was getting ready to go out of business, and someone was like, "No, I like your stuff," and the czar, like, loaned them like a fortune so they could stay in business and keep doing their thing.
I think they're doing okay.
They're doing all right.
They may last.
Yeah. So, you know, it took a czar and a Beatle, but, you know, they've they've been around quite a long time since. But Sultan Tsar, I don't know, one of those. A very important person of power from back in the day. But Ringo used Zildjian cymbals on the Ed Sullivan Show. And that pushed Zildjian beyond where they were currently at because stores just couldn't keep up with orders. The Beatles, whether you like them or not, have had a huge impact on the music industry as far as their contributions to music written, but popularity of musical instruments. You think of the Hofner violin bass, you automatically think Paul McCartney. You think of Rickenbackers, I automatically think George Harrison and John Lennon. I look at Ludwig drums and Zildjian cymbals, I think Ringo. That's just how it goes. And that's where this comes from here. This is a shorter scale guitar. It's a 21-inch scale length guitar. It uses the 3 toaster top pickups. The neck and the middle pickup are wired together, so it allows you to, even though have a three position switch, they're all independently controlled with everything down here. You get tone, you get volume. It allows for a smooth, but also a sweet sound. The way the controls and the wiring is all set up is that you get independent control for each pickup, even though you have the wiring run together. I love a guitar that gives you the optimum amount of control for tone and volume. That's why I love some Gretches, because some Gretches even have volume knobs per pickup. The Jazzmaster is a great example of that as well. So any guitar that allows me to dive into the guitar and really control it from every aspect, I love it. I'm a huge fan. I'm trying to think if there's, other than the fingerboard, this guitar is all maple. The neck, the body, phenomenal craftsmanship. This is one of those cool Rickenbackers. You're just like, I can't pass this up. I need this for my collection, my arsenal, my fleet. This would be the way to go. The 325-64C. And as I'm turning around, I'm realizing I forgot to grab a guitar. We'll talk about it next week. We're always getting some pretty cool stuff in. I just forgot to grab one. It's been a busy day here at the shop, so I apologize for that. Yeah, so, but we'll just do a quick wrap up. And as I'm wrapping up, if I think of anything else I want to talk about, we'll go off on that real quick. So we started off with the Regal resonators. This was the RD30M, M standing for the mahogany natural finish. If you're on Instagram, I'm sorry, when I walk off screen, I'm grabbing a guitar. I'm sorry, the camera doesn't move.
Yeah, they only like the vertical.
Yeah, so
They go elsewhere.
So sorry about that. But when we're right here, we're cool. Aluminum cone and bridge, mahogany body and top, D'Addario strings. The ratio on these tuners, I believe, are 14:1, which also helps with that vintage style tuning and tone, because it's just vintage accurate, as they call it. This was the RD40V for the vintage sunburst finish. Has the nickel plated hardware, the spruce top that helps that tone to really push out and be clear and sing at a full volume, mahogany body to help balance out that tone, vintage sunburst finish, also with the D'Addario strings. We have the 50th anniversary Taylor AD14CE. I guess another thing to really take note of when it comes to these American Dream models is that they're not the AD and then the model number. You know, it's an AD17, it's an AD14, it's an AD11. It's not an AD114, an AD GT11. The AD is the line. That's the series of the guitars. So it's the American Dream 14. It is the American Dream with the 50th anniversary label. Yeah, very cool. And like everything else that has the ES2 switch, it has that the ES2 electronics, it has that phase switch. So if you're ever plugged in playing live and you're getting some low end feedback, you just flip that switch and that helps reduce the low end, so you're not getting that feedback. That's on every Taylor that has an ES2 electronic system. And again, that comes with the Aero case and is one of 5 50th anniversary models. And we're going to wrap up today with the 325 C64. Didn't need my notes that time. This is from Rickenbacker, modeled after John Lennon's very famous 325 from 1964. Again, with the 3 single coil pickups, all the control you could ever want or need to make this guitar really sing. Maple body. Yeah, gorgeous. I like that shorter scale. That's pretty comfortable. Yeah, so that's all we got to talk about today. I'm trying to think if we have anything. Keep an eye out for always new stuff coming up. We're posting pictures and videos of everything that comes in the shop. Jake does a great job of getting everything listed online on all of our sites. You can check us out online on our website, islandmusicco.com. Check us out on Reverb, and we're on eBay. If you're looking to get into learning a new instrument or getting better at the one you're currently playing, we offer lessons. We have a great lessons program here. So please feel free to come on in, check out our lessons program, give us a call and ask for either Elizabeth or Claire, and they'll be happy to tell you who's available for to teach and when and what instruments we offer lessons for. And then we also have our full range service department. We have myself and our 2 technicians are all certified through Martin to do Martin warranty jobs and repairs. And we also have a full service shop. So whether you need pickups installed, you need something routed out, you want to upgrade your hardware, you want to upgrade your electronics, we can do all that for you. Maybe you have a Floyd Rose and you just don't like restringing it, because let's be honest, who does? Bring it on in. Our techs will be happy to help you out with that. And along with our repair shop, we also offer pretty much anything available from FU Tone. If you aren't familiar with FU Tone, take your guitar, whether it's a floating trem, a Floyd Rose, and you want to increase the sustain. You want to get longer sustain out of it, but you want to get bigger volume, more clarity on your tone. This is going to be the way to do it. We can upgrade everything from the block inside of your guitar to a nice brass block. We can increase the tension on your springs by swapping them out with the heavy duty springs. If you have an acoustic, we have titanium and brass saddle pins that'll drop right into your bridge and increase the volume, projection, and tone of the guitar that you're currently playing. All kinds of upgrades there. You'd be surprised at what that can do for your guitar, just swapping out different components for brass or titanium. It makes a world of difference. So if you're ever interested in souping up some of your guitars, bring them on in. We'd be happy to walk you through that process as well. So again, my name's Jack. This is Live at 5 here in Island Music Company. Stop in and say hey. We'll be happy to see you. We'll catch you next week, 5 o'clock. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. See you then.